Hello, God bless from Up Ministries. It's me, Dick Jr. I'm going to read you now Ezekiel chapter 3. Ezekiel chapter 3 is a little bit longer. It's about two and a half pages. Well, let's see. 1, 2, 3 columns, 1.5 pages. Anyway, I am going to segue us to Revelation from this. Revelation chapter 10, verse 9. That's chapter 10, verse 9 of Revelation. And that's the only reference I'm taking out of this. I'm pretty much going to read it straight through. Special note, the word rebellious is used quite a few times, 2 or 3 more times in this chapter, very much like chapter 2, where it was used often. And I want to pick up with this one from where we left off. So I'm going to read verse 9 and 10 of chapter 2 into verse 1 of chapter 3, and we'll continue from there because this is all one continuous vision, okay? It's not 2 chapters, and if you jump in on this, you don't realize. Anyway, then I looked, and behold, a hand was extended to me, and lo, a scroll was in it. And when he spread it out before me, it was written on the front and back, and written on it were lamentations, mourning, and woe. And then he said to me, Son of man, eat what you find. Eat this scroll, and go speak to the house of Israel. So I opened my mouth, and he fed me this scroll. He said to me, Son of man, feed your stomach and fill your body with this scroll, which I am giving you. Then I ate it, and it was sweet as honey in my mouth. And I'm going to take us to Revelation chapter 10, verse 9 at this point, concerning where he said, Then I ate it, and it was sweet as honey in my mouth, okay? Revelation chapter 10, verse 9. This is where an angel is handing a scroll, a book, in this case it says book, to John the apostle, but he's been taken up in glory in the spirit as well. So I went to the angel, telling him to give me the little book, and he said to me, Take it and eat it. It will make your stomach bitter, but in your mouth it will be sweet as honey. And I liken it to these things that were given are the same thing, okay? So if you ever want, people wonder what John was given, what was on that scroll, it was a scroll written on the front and the back, and written on it were lamentations, mourning, and woe, okay? And it was sweet as honey, and it soured his stomach. But the angel said that it would sour his stomach. He didn't say that. And in this case, Ezekiel said that it tasted sweet, but he didn't mention it souring his stomach. That doesn't mean that it didn't. You see what I'm saying? So we're going to go on from there. Then he said to me, Son of man, go to the house of Israel and speak with my words to them, for you are not being sent to a people of unintelligible speech or difficult language, but to the house of Israel. So what he's saying is this is not a hard job. They speak and understand everything, So, nor to many peoples of unintelligible speech or difficult language, whose words you cannot understand, but I have sent you to them who should listen to you. And I think, this is just me, but when he says that, that's what he does to the apostles. He sends them to lands where they couldn't speak the languages, and yeah. So anyway, yet the house of Israel will not be willing to listen to you, since they are not willing to listen to me. I underlined that right there, and that goes for anyone. If you're trying to help someone, okay, as a Christian, and they are not willing to listen to God at all, then what makes you think they're going to listen to you? Okay? That's all I'm going to say. Don't beat your head against the post. Yes, we want to help people, but you can't help those who don't want help. Okay? Surely the whole house of Israel is stubborn and obstinate. Behold, I have made your face as hard as their faces, and your forehead as hard as their foreheads. Like emery, harder than flint, I have made your forehead. Do not be afraid of them, or be dismayed before them, though they are a rebellious house. Here's that word rebellious again. But there's a lot of purpose also in God saying do not be afraid or dismayed in front of them, because his confidence would show them that he believes in his God, and his God is going to show them he is real. You see what I mean? So moreover, he said to me, Son of man, take into your heart all my words, all those very same words that he fed him, which I will speak to you, and listen closely. Go to the exiles and to the sons of your people, and speak to them and tell them whether they listen or not. Thus says the Lord God. The Spirit lifted me up, and I heard a great rumbling sound behind me. Blessed be the glory of the Lord in his place. And I heard the sound of the wings of the living beings touching one another, and the sound of the wheels beside them, even a great rumbling sound. So the Spirit lifted me up and took me away, and I went embittered in the rage of my spirit, and the hand of the Lord was strong on me. Then I came to the exiles who lived beside the river Chebar at Tel Abib, and I sat there 7 days where they were living, causing consternation among them. At the end of 7 days the word of the Lord came to me, saying, Son of man, I have appointed you a watchman to the house of Israel. Whenever you hear a word from my mouth, warn them for me. When I say to the wicked, you will surely die, and you do not warn him or speak out to warn the wicked from his wicked way, that he may live, that wicked man shall die in his iniquity, but his blood I will require at your hand. Yet if you have warned the wicked, and he does not turn from his wickedness or from his wicked way, he shall die in his iniquity, but you have delivered yourself. So God's telling him, if he doesn't tell someone something that God tells him to say, and they continue on in sin, it's on him. But if he does tell them, and they continue on in sin, then it's not on him anymore. Okay? Again, when a righteous man turns away from his righteousness and commits iniquity, and I place an obstacle before him, he will die. Since you have not warned him, he shall... since you have not warned him, he shall die in his sin, and his righteous deeds which he has done shall not be remembered, but his blood I will require at your hand. And that's something for all of us to remember. Okay, you can live an entire life of wonderful Christianity and do great things for everybody all the time, but if you're still living in iniquity somewhere along the line, all that stuff is moot. Okay? However, if you have warned the righteous man that the righteous should not sin, and he does not sin, he shall surely live, because he took warning, and you have delivered yourself. The hand of the Lord was on me there, and he said to me, Get up and go out to the plain, and there I will speak to you. So I got up and went out to the plain. And behold, the glory of the Lord was standing there, like the glory which I saw by the river Chebar, and I fell on my face. The Spirit then entered me and made me stand on my feet, and he spoke with me and said to me, Go shut yourself up in your house. As for you, son of man, they will put ropes on you and bind you with them, so that you cannot go out among them. Moreover, I will make your tongue stick to the roof of your mouth, so that you will be mute and cannot be a man who rebukes them, for they are a rebellious house. Again, that word. But when I speak to you, I will open your mouth, and you will say to them, Thus says the Lord, He who hears, let him hear. He who refuses, let him refuse, for they are a rebellious house. That is Ezekiel chapter 3. But he was taken up in the Spirit in this chapter, and then these cherubim delivered him from where he was to another place. So that's really all I have for this chapter. We already took the reference to Revelation 10:9, but I believe that a lot of these visions are the very same visions, the very same vision at the very same time. That's a story for another time for me to talk about. But that's all I have for Ezekiel chapter 3, and thanks for listening. God bless.